But let's get it cracking. It's time for Real or Fake. Let's just jump into Real or Fake. Yo, Fool, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, man. So just give me some time to read this little piece afterwards. I want to make sure everyone has background. But Real or Fake? Dr. Umar Johnson should lose his license to practice psychology because of the controversies surrounding his Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Black Boys. Now, on December 7th, 2017, Dr. Umar Johnson received a letter from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Bureau of Professional and Occupational Affairs, requesting his attendance at his hearing on January 8th in front of the State Board of Psychology. And on December 21st, 2017, GoFundMe threatened to suspend his $402,783 GoFundMe account. Excuse me, that was a dollar amount, obviously. If he doesn't update them on how the funds are being used towards the goal of the fundraising of the campaign. Now on Facebook, Umar released this post in the response to the hearing. So this is Umar talking. He says, "Sometimes I ask myself, why did I start this campaign? I'm ready to return all the donations and move to Africa in an effort to give our boys a school they deserve. I've had countless coons consistently harass white people in the power structure until they've decided to strip me of my credentials, arrest my fund, and audit me. Hundreds of phone calls to my degree-granting institutions harassing them about my credentials, the same questions over and over again on every radio show, countless social network jokes, and campaigns to diminish the credibility of the one man Black parents can count on to assist for free with saving their children from the mental health and miseducation systems. This is the thanks I get for helping to save a generation of Black boys. On top of all the betrayals, I've had my own father join in on the fun. This Kwanzaa tour will be my farewell to the conscious community for a while. I'm taking a break from social media. I need to take care of me now. I will keep pushing for the school until my detractors successfully kill that campaign also. Whether we succeed or fail, just know that my intentions were honorable and I tried my best. This is another victory for the mentally enslaved." So again, Real or Fake? Dr. Umar Johnson should lose his license to practice psychology because of the controversy surrounding his FDMG academy.
Nah, he shouldn't lose. Nah, I'm gonna say that's fake.
Okay.
No, I agree with him. I mean, I agree with him, but I've been saying, Umar, get yourself a publicist. Boom, boom. There's no way that you're gonna buck up against the establishment head on like he has and not get attacks. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't look at Umar as the real deal and say he lacks transparency and all these things. But I mean, if you're doing something for your people, you don't want it all out there anyway. So, but at the same time, you know, a lot of people have been critical of him and saying he's not transparent enough with his own donors. Mm-hmm. And, you know, listen, it's like chess, man. You don't tell your opponent what your next chess move is going to be. But at the end of the day, you know, I think Umar's right. His intentions have been with the Black community, but because he's also rubbed into the whole conscious community thing too, there's a perception about people who are part of the conscious community, especially those who publicly speak on YouTube and have their hoteps and I mean
conscious
that in
crooks.
Conscious crooks. I mean, you got brothers like Brother Polite that have been accused of taking people's money for real estate and then flipping it and just keeping it while putting them in the dumps and stuff. I've always felt like Umar was the real deal. Mm-hmm. I just feel like his personal life is a little bit of a jumble, and that leaks into his work.
So you think his goals and everything are?
I think his goals are
honorable.
I think he's the real deal. I think he's the real deal in the sense that his intent, but intent and who you are, it's kind of like we talked about the last episode about the Black Messiah complex. If people perceive you as not being on the up and up, or like we were talking about Martin Luther King, and G was talking about, well, you know, once people find out, you know, you know what he was really into, that's going to tarnish his public image. And there's a little bit, I mean, Umar has done a good job of tarnishing his own public image from dating a stripper, which could, you know, he's an adult. Anybody could date
Definitely
anybody.
tarnish his own image.
And he came out and said, yo, I didn't know what her occupation was. But, you know, whether he did or didn't, that's his choice as an adult. But but that's not, it doesn't end there. It's him and the beef with SETI and calling him a short, light skinned, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, damn, you doing the colorism.
No, I got you, yeah.
You're supposed to be the super pro black dude.
It's more so, yeah, I got you. He just doesn't want to, I mean, you know, his personality is what it is, but all of that shouldn't take away from his practicing psychology. That shouldn't take away from his...
Well, this is the thing. When you talk about whether you agree with the DSM or not agree with the DSM, there are parameters that are set, and even the psychological advice that he gives has to be set within those parameters. It's kind of like one of those crazy things like doctors did with the Hippocratic Oath, right? But when you look at realistically, what are doctors doing in real life? They're selling people drugs, getting them hooked.
So then bring that back to
painkillers. I mean, but bringing it back to Umar, it's the same thing. As a psychologist, he might be like, damn, I'm working in this system and what they're doing to our kids is messed up.
No, I got you. So
I still have to work within the parameters of the system. So it's like, it's like that with everything. And until you can be a vessel to change that shit, like he can't do that work. I think that's one of the biggest Umar's, maybe not a mistake, but it's like it's an oversight that he is out there alone fighting that fight. There has to be a culture around changing how we look at mental health in a black community.
He's not out there alone though.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm saying the way it looks. I mean, especially with the psychological holocaust against black boys. Yeah, I mean,
you think he's alone in that particular battle? I
mean, as vocally, I don't hear a lot of leaders speaking on it. But me personally, like I've worked with kids, so I see kids on drugs.
Okay, well, hang on to that. Let me just hear what G says about the real. I got what you're saying. You're saying it's fake.
They're pushing it to the parents that don't know better. Yeah. And so to have a brother like him out the system, that's just, you know.
I got you. There might be a concerted effort to get him out. Yo, G, what you think?
Yeah.
I don't want to say both, so I'm gonna say fake. However, I have to explain why. Right.
All right.
So when I first heard about this, I was like, you know what? Maybe it's something linked to, you know, his GoFundMe, right? So I was thinking maybe the state, you know, is getting wind of like this dude collecting all of this money, this and the third. Because I know, like, at least in Massachusetts, like, psychiatrists can't promise something like a service, take a person's money and not provide it. They can actually lose their license in the state of Massachusetts. So I was like, yo, let me just like research Pennsylvania. Then I was like, yo, let me just do more thorough research in regards to like what's going on with Umar. So then on Tuesday, October 10th, right? Umar, you know, explained on his like Tuesday morning call that he has with like black parents that he was on a radio station, right? And he said black people have the right to protect themselves from police brutality, right? But then his audio was edited and then released on a local news station, implying that Umar was saying black people should assault police officers. So that caused alarm for the state. Then on one of his
why we gotta always be the boogeyman? There's like a boogeyman theme with black people. It's like one black person tell kill all whiteys. Oh, they're gonna come get us. I'm telling you, we the boogeyman.
Anyways,
I don't know.
Yeah, but like back to what I was saying. So
just a historical thing. I see.
So apparently the state of Pennsylvania, right, the board of psychology has actually been spying on him and listening in on his Tuesday morning calls with black parents.
That's inappropriate.
And then so they actually contacted him saying that he said something that was illegal or unethical, right, on the call, and that was the reason for the hearing.
Do you know if I don't mean to cut you off, but do you know if there was a reason for them spying? Like, did they have like a warrant or something to tap his line?
Nah, it's not necessarily tapping the line if it's public. So it's like,
I got you. Yeah.
So like he provides the number for like, black parents who have questions about their children to just call in.
But anyone can call in and listen.
Yeah. So apparently he must have said something that was controversial, that they were looking for something. Like, they were clearly fishing, right? Mm-hmm. So now they go, we got him. So I was like, you know what, let me just take it like a step further. So I went to Pennsylvania.gov, right? And so I went to like the State Board of Psychology website, and I clicked on like the board laws and regulations, right? So now, by the
way, Pennsylvania, specifically Philadelphia, I've been there myself. It's a hella racist place.
But it's a very black city.
It is a very black city.
Welcome to America. You know what I'm saying?
Apparently, the number of black people you have in the city doesn't correlate to less racism.
Right.
Yeah. So,
hang on. Let me
So now, under the board laws and regulations, right?
Yep.
Under Section 8, refusal, suspension, or revocation of license, right? Mm-hmm. Section 8.2, it says, making misleading, deceptive, untrue, or fraudulent representations in the practice of psychology. So that could be one way they're going to get them. Section 8.4, displaying gross incompetence, negligence, or misconduct in carrying on the practice of psychology. That's another way they could get them. 11, committing immoral or unprofessional conduct. Unprofessional conduct shall include any departure from or failure to conform to the standards of acceptable and prevailing psychological practice. And the final point, 14, intentionally submitting to any third-party payer a claim for a service or treatment which was not actually provided to a client. So now that Section 14 could imply the GoFundMe situation that's kind of going on at the same time right now, where GoFundMe's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing with this money? You better explain it to us within 48 hours or we're just going to close this shit because people are complaining. So obviously, if you're using this money, it better be towards the creation of this Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Leadership Academy. So because all of this is going on at the same time, I'm like, damn, should he lose his license? If in fact he's stealing from the people, yeah, hell yeah, I think he should lose his license. But because I don't see any evidence implying that he actually has stole from the people,
it's not enough ground.
So that's why I'm saying it has to be fake, right? For now.
Yeah.
But again, to me, Fool said it earlier. Yeah. Bro, you're hella careless with the way you manage the funds, the way you're explaining things to your donors. Like, this is like nonprofit 101. Like, yo, you get donations, you provide updates as many times as you can. Right. Especially if, like, you know what? One thing that he really, really fucked up on, you can't tell people, like, yo, we didn't get to school, so I'm thinking about just opening up a school in Nigeria. Right. Like, yo, that's reckless. That's reckless. That alone is grounds for you have to return all the money to everyone.
I'm sure he said that out of frustration.
It doesn't matter. He said it.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
no, but it was out of frustration.
Oh, fuck, yo.
No, but he was dead serious.
This shit.
No. It wasn't that. It's pretty because tormenting. He literally was saying, yo, he had Nigerian investors. He was really considering it. It wasn't one of those out of frustration. He just said that shit. He literally was considering it, but nobody
this route is easier.
Nobody in his camp said, yo, my G, you can't do that.
Yeah. Well, you can't take the American money and bring it overseas.
Exactly. Yeah. If you do that, not even that, even let's say, even if he said like to a U.S. territory, let's say to the Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico, even that alone, he has to either contact every donor from the smallest donation, from like the $5 donations to whatever.
Yeah.
Contact each of those people and say, hey, just to give you an update, things have changed. We're moving in a new direction. Is it okay if, in fact, we could keep your donation to start a school outside the borders of the U.S.?
Right.
Then it's up to the donor if, in fact, they say, yo, I agree, you can keep the money, or be like, nah, motherfucker, give me my money back.
Gotcha.
He has not provided that option for people yet.
I do know.
Now I know he's saying he's looking at other places in the U.S., but come on, son. He's like really, really reckless.
There's 4 places that he publicly came out, after the original place was bought.
Right.
And he publicly came out and said, hey, I'm looking at these 4 places. There was like one school in, I think, Florida, one school in Michigan. But it seemed like everywhere there was like, he was either a little short, like it would be like 750,000. And he's like, oh, I only got this 500.
Yeah. I remember him saying that on the Breakfast Club. Like, I'm almost there.
Yeah, but he's not almost.
Jay, I need that check. I think
that's the problem. He just don't have. He doesn't, for what he's trying to do.
He doesn't have the money.
He doesn't have the money.
Yeah.
And which, most people would be like, all right, let me start smaller, or let me. But he doesn't want to. I'm not sure why he doesn't want to just start smaller, because at this point,
why? Because it's his ego. That's why.
No, I agree with you. It might be some ego.
That really is the problem.
If you listen,
he just doesn't have the money
I'd like
for
to
it.
know.
And
I'd like to know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree with you.
It's cool, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to hold out on people who've been contributing to you, and regardless of the case being brought on them, those are the same people who are gonna back you up when the state's against you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are the people who are gonna be like, nah, we ride with him. But if they not riding with you and the state's not with you, bruh, you by yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
well, I think he shot himself with his own foot. You know what I mean? Yeah, he made his bait. He got to lay in it.
Unfortunately, the intentions, the road of intention is not always paved with gold. You know what I mean? Like, people want to see that you bear fruit. You know what I mean? And I don't think
the other saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And that is Umar Johnson in a nutshell. You see what I'm saying? And this is another thing this is why a piece of me wants to say real. Because I don't think he's really taking this seriously. The fact that, he's promoting it, and I get it, like on a PR thing, it's like it kind of makes sense what he's doing, but he's taking it too far. The dude's creating memes. Ifantunde versus the state. He got a whole bunch of like images of like freedom fighters and past revolutionaries, trying to imply like, yo, I'm on this level, comparing himself to Christ. This dude was bugging. Like, his social media account should just get shut down. Somebody should really manage this dude, because the way he's talking, right? And then, not to mention, you could actually just look this dude up, right?
Yeah.
I don't mean to throw shade while the motherfucker's down, but let's just keep it real. Like, motherfucker owes fucking taxes. He's backed on taxes since 2009. Yeah. That's a problem. You know what I mean? So since he's been in the conscious community, this motherfucker's been fucking caking up, doing lectures, not paying taxes, as if, you're literally Umar Johnson now.
Right.
You think the feds aren't watching you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think the IRS isn't watching you, looking for a reason to put you down?
Everybody's watching
around now.
Not to mention this.
Especially going against, that's what I'm saying. You can't.
Not even, y'all gotta really think about this. He's literally naming his school after Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
What happened to Marcus Garvey? They literally deported his ass because of tax evasion. And you're doing the very fucking same thing. That shit's reckless, bro.
That sucks.
Then, I'm doing more research. This motherfucker owed child support. I thought he only had 2 baby mamas. Come to find out, now he got 3. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
Like, the dude, he needs to like go somewhere and just find himself. Yo, he got to
Well,
get
he
in
said
tune
it
with his higher
in
self.
his Facebook post.
Yeah.
I need to focus
Yo,
on
he need
me.
to be on his
That
Nas.
was the one part where he was correct.
The only
Yo,
true
facts. He need to be
enemy-
on his Nas shit and go back to Africa. Be
The
on some
only true
Nas from
enemy
Belly, dog.
is,
For real, he need to go somewhere.
the
Like,
only true enemy
facts.
is self. You know, if you can't, that you got to show that self discipline for the people to believe in you.
Let's end it right there.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Let's end it right there. That's a
Let's
perfect
do it.
note. So, yo, that was real or fake. Shout out to Umar Johnson. We're going to
That's
move
fucked
on.
up, bro.
Nah, yo, listen. Listen. I'm
Yo,
rooting
shout
for
out to
that.
that nigga, yo.
I'm
Shout
not
out to you
only-
losing your license.
I'm rooting for that brother to do the right thing, and I'm rooting for that brother to win. If he's gonna do the
We
right
all
thing,
rooting for you, bro.
we rooting for real.
Yeah,
I want to see you win.
yo,
I want to see our children win.
I wanna see our children
If
win,
that
too.
means Umar could get us there, then hey, good luck.
Good luck.
If your ass is all about doing fuckery and just
Yeah.
trying to profit off of these poor black people, shame on you. Lose your shit. Fuck it.
yo, he'll find himself.